nearly out of the ground, and here we are back on the airwaves of Radio Azad, where your voice matters, with the Sports Spotlight with your host Rizwan. In a little bit, in about 10 minutes or so, Shep's going to be joining me, where we're going to swivel the spotlight away from the cricket oval onto other sports, starting with college football. Lots and lots happening in the world of college football playoffs in the last couple of days. But hey, for now, the spotlight is shining brightly, brightly onto the cricket oval. We're going to talk about something really big and somewhat surprising that took place. I'm talking about the Under 19 Asia Cup Championships. Now, it was always going to be, was Bangladesh, could they make some noise? Sri Lanka was never uh, really going to be doing much. Could Bangladesh make some noise? Possibly, but it was always going to be India and Pakistan, and ended up in the same group, but they had UAE and Malaysia aside from each other there, so it was going to be those two advancing from there, and we get that, and that's how we got to the semifinals. Basically, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. So let's talk about that first. Here we go. That first semifinal, Sri Lanka under 19 against India under 19. Sri Lanka batted first. First, I'm going to rail. I'm not going to try to spend too much time on this because I know for 2 years I've been talking about how much unnecessarily how much the weather has to say about the game of cricket in this day and age, right? I mean, it shouldn't. But here we are, the under 19 Asia Cup finals or semifinals start, and the first match is reduced to these are ODIs, right? The first match is reduced to 20 overs max on each side because of rain. Sri Lanka batted first, so effectively they played it like a T20, right? I mean, 20 overs exactly, T20. They started. Couple of players did much, did a little bit. The rest of them did not do much. All in all, Sri Lanka scored 138 at a loss of 8 in their 20 overs, and that was never going to be enough. And nobody really stood out, but everybody did something. Five bowlers scoring 4 overs each for India, and everybody with at least a wicket. And India's under 19 came in with a target of 139. And as I said, it was never going to be a problem, even though the openers, the captain, Ayush Mahatre, fell for 7 off of 8 deliveries. Vibhav Suryavanshi, the the wunderkind, the phenom, who's what, 15 now? Is he 15 yet? Scored only 9 off of 6 before he was gone, but didn't matter. Aaron George, Vihan Malhotra, both came in at 1 down and 2 down and carried them to that 139 necessary. Took all the way to the 18th over, but they were always in control and with very, very little doubt that they were going to get home. And that was it. That was the first semifinal, kind of anticlimactic a little bit. Well, on the other side, Pakistan and Bangladesh, their match was also affected by the rain. Theirs was reduced to 27 overs, not 20, 27 here. But it really didn't matter because Pakistan's bowlers came to bowl. Oh my goodness, Bangladesh, they made short work of Bangladesh. Zawad Abrar fell for 9 off of 13. Rifat Beg 14 off of 6. Nobody did. The highest scorer here was the last, second to last batter, Samyun Basir, who ended up scoring 33 off of 37 before he was run out by Farhan Yusuf and Hamza Zahood. 33 off of 37. That was the best day There were only outside of him only two others in double figures. Rifat Beg, the second opener at 14, and Azizul Hakim, the captain, who came in one down, scoring 20 off of 26. 26.3 overs. They were all done at 121. Abdul Subhan, 6 overs, 1 maiden, 4 wickets, 3.33 economy, had himself a day. Mohammad Sayyam, of course, also 5 overs, 19 runs for a 3.8 and a wicket, along with one of the overs being maiden. So Pakistan comes in with a target of 122, and that was never going to be a problem. Even though Hamza Zahoor, the second opener, fell for a duck off the second delivery he faced, Samir Minhas, the attacking opener, scored 69 off of 57, 6 4s, 2 6s. Usman Khan came in one down, 27 off of 26. Ahmed Hussain, 11 off of 14, taking them home 122 at a loss of only 2 and 16.3 overs. So deliveries in hand, wickets in hand, winning it easily, and setting up the ever popular the Under 19 Asia Cup Championship between Pakistan and India, the clash of the Titans. Except it turned out to be not a clash. Luckily, the weather did not intervene, and it was a full 50 over match. Just took place, I want to say it was just earlier, just finished up. And man, oh man, did Pakistan come to play. All right. So first, the two openers, Hamza Zahoor, Samir Minhas. Hamza Zahoor scored 18 off of 14 before he was gone, strike rate of 128, 1 4, 2 6s, started things well. But boy, Samir Minhas came to play. I'll come back to Samir Minhas. But the others, I mean, they were just pouring it on. Usman Khan, the one down after Hamza Zahoor fell, scored 35 off 45, 3 4s and a 6. Ahmed Hussain, 56 off of 72, 3 4s and a 6. Farhan Yusuf, the captain, 19 off of 18. And then it tailed off. The other wickets kept falling regularly, but not regularly enough, because Pakistan did get to the end of the 50th over. Huzaifa Hassan, duck off of 3 deliveries. Mohammad Shayan, 7 off of 6. Abdul Subhan, 2 off of 4. Niqab Shafiq, 12 off of 17. Muhammad Sayyam, 13 off of 8. But Samir Minhas had himself an absolute day, facing 113 deliveries, scoring 172 runs with 17 4s and 9 6s. Yes, carrying Pakistan all the way to 347 at a loss of 8. But again, 347 in an ODI 50 over match. You know, is it good? Yeah. Is it great? No. Especially against a lineup like India. In this one, from the Indian side, Adipesh Devendran did take out 3 of the Pakistani wickets. But boy, Pakistan, you know their strength across the formats, across the years, across the decades has been bowling, and they came to bowl. With that target of 348, Vaibhav Suryavanshi did start off like gangbusters because he needed to. Scored 26 off of 10 deliveries with a 4 and 3 6s, but nicked one back to Hamza Zahoor on that 10th delivery on a ball off of Ali Reza's arm, and he was gone. But more importantly, the other opener, Ayush Mahatre, he fell first. Again, off of a delivery from Ali Reza in the 3rd over, he fell. And by the way, by the time Vaibhav Suryavanshi fell on the first delivery of the 5th over, India was 49, but at a loss of 3 wickets. At a loss of 3 wickets, he was gone, and then the dominoes just started falling because nobody else could really stabilize anything. Aaron George, 16 off of 9. Vedant Trivedi, 9 off of 14. Abhigyan Kundu, 13 off of 20. And down the it wasn't until Dipesh Devendran scored 36 off of 16 toward the very, very end, but too little, too late. Pakistan takes out Team India in only 27, really on the second delivery of the 27th over, at only 156 after giving them a target of 348. Absolute destruction by Pakistan. Ali Reza with 4 wickets here in only 6.2 overs, and Mohammad Sayyam, Abdul Subhan, and Huzaifa Ahsan, all three of them with 2 wickets each. Absolute demolition by the Pakistan under 19 of the India under 19 squad. Not really living up to the battle, the clash of the Titans here. Pakistan takes this one easily and wins the 2025 under 19 Asia Cup. And with that, we're going to wrap up the conversation around cricket, and we're going to swivel the sports spotlight over. Here we are. All right. We're going to swivel it over to the college gridiron because there's some stuff happening.
Career long of 48, we said. That was last year against Wake Forest. In the spring game, he did hit from 62, and it's blocked!
Oh, yeah, it's blocked. Who remembers that? Louisville, Georgia Tech, blocking the field goal and taking it home. With that, I would like to welcome to the airwaves of Radio Azad, my good buddy, and a wonderful sports mind, Patrick Shepard. Shep, good morning. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Good morning. How's the Christmas season going along, the holiday season in Dallas?
So we had a cold spell. I mean, it got into the 20s. I think one night it was about 26 degrees. And then yesterday I was running around in a t-shirt because the temperatures I think flew all the way during the day. They flew all the way up into the low 70s, 72, 73, 74 degrees. Last night it was only 46, 47. And this morning again, it's a little cold, but I still came out in a t-shirt. Probably should have put on my Bills jersey, but hey, I think today's game is somewhat of a cruise control, so I figured I'd go sans of the jersey. But yeah, it's warm. It's 58 degrees out there right now. And the next week, I mean, this is going to be a warm Christmas. The next week highs starting on Monday, 74, 78, 76, 79 on Thursday, and 82 degrees on Friday. But that whole global warming is a hoax. We don't really believe in that down here in Dallas. But yeah, that's what we're living with, man. That's where we are. All right. How about you? How are things up in Chicago? I know you guys had a cold spell with some lake effect.
We did, but it's going to be almost somewhere between 50 and 60 on Christmas itself. My streak of not having a white Christmas will remain intact. But no, it's good. The warmer weather is good because it'll be still cool this week, so it'll still feel Christmas-like. So we can get the kids out to watch, Christmas
lights and stuff. Yeah,
and stuff like that. So,
I mean, with younger kids like you do, that's what matters. I mean, obviously, I think they're going to be fascinated if you can get a white Christmas, get some snow, but the lights do it. And do they do lights in Chicago like they do down here in the South? Or, I mean, do they go all out? Is there a specific spot that you like taking the kids to?
Oh, there's a ton of good Christmas lights areas around here. I mean, we've got Lincoln Park Zoo. We've got just the general kind of the Magnificent Mile down here in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the various neighborhoods around here. And there's lots of little places.
Good.
Or not even little places, big places.
Well, it's Chicago, so it is going to be big places. All right. Well, let's get to what we gathered here to talk about. I mean, obviously, yes, it's Christmas time, and it's always important to talk about that. But let's talk college sports, specifically college football, shall we? Because unless you've been living on Mars, I think you should know, everybody should know, that the college football playoffs got going. And they got going with a bang. So first, let's get the ho hum games, right? The the token games that James Madison and Tulane got.
I mean, those
And
games were over when the teams walked off the bus successfully.
I mean, really 2 weeks ago when the selections were made, right?
Well, no one's surprised. And look, it's the system as it's set up, top 5 conference champions. They never anticipated the ACC champion not even being in the top 25, which is why you had 2 group of 5 teams. But let's be realistic. Even if you'd had 1 group of 5 team, was Tulane going to challenge anybody else in the field that wasn't James Madison?
Yeah.
They'd already been blown out by Ole Miss this year. There was no – I mean, the stats in the first half weren't as lopsided as the score. Tulane actually moved the ball pretty well against a decent but not good Ole Miss defense.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ole Miss was going to score almost every time they had the ball, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
So they're not games really worth a lot of exploration. I don't think they mean anything in the greater scheme of this particular playoff set.
Yeah. So I think the football playoff committee, council, whatever you want to call it, or whatever they're called, are going to have some questions to answer, right? I mean, what are we trying to do? These are literal participation trophies being handed out, and are these teams okay with this? Are they now? James Madison scored 34 against Oregon, but that game was never in doubt. I mean, it was. What are we doing getting these teams into these impossible situations?
So you remember the BCS was sued way back in the day for antitrust.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way they've gotten around that is to give these automatic qualifier slots to G5 groups that meet certain G5 teams that meet certain criteria. And it's the same thing now that they have the playoff. They don't want to be sued for antitrust violations because they're not exempt from that like other sports are. So they've got that set up there. And like I said earlier, the reason why this year is different is because you had 2 because of the absolute mess that the ACC was with not getting an automatic qualifier. They got Miami in, but they weren't an automatic qualifier. And the 2 teams they had in the championship game were not really the 2 best teams in the ACC, but you got a 17-team conference, unbalanced schedule, weirdisms galore. So that's just what happened.
Yep.
Look, if it were me and I was forced to design a playoff, I would just go with the top 12 teams. Okay.
Yeah.
Conferences want to do that because they're worried they're not going to have as many spots. Specifically, the Big Ten and the SEC are like, well, wait a minute. We deserve to have the most. Yada yada. Big 12 doesn't want to be left out. It is the ACC. So that's why you have this weird system. Which is why I always say we should go back to the pre-bowl coalition days and just have people vote and not have a playoff because we're still going to argue about who's the 13th team like we are this year, right? Notre Dame had a better resume than Alabama. The computers liked them more, but they got left at home because they don't have a conference commissioner to really go to bat for them the same way that Alabama did.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, just to wrap that up, James Madison did score 34 on Oregon, but as I was saying, it was
in junk time.
Yeah, it was 35-6 at the halftime, and they scored 28 in the second half when Oregon obviously had taken the foot off the accelerator. Otherwise, I mean, if they play 2 full halves, this could very easily be an 80 to 15 game, right? I mean, it's insane. It's obvious to anyone that James Madison did not need to be. I don't want to say it did not deserve, because under the current system, they deserved, right? But they did not need to be on that field because it's embarrassing. I mean, I don't know. It is not a better system than the system we had 40 years ago. It is not a better system than we had 20 years ago?
I know. Look, this is the only thing it does is it makes money for the TV execs, which is what helps drives the sport and the views, and more people are watching games than ever. And I get all that, but I don't think it's better for the sport. I don't. But I'm not going to go. Your viewers are probably, or listeners are probably tired of hearing me complain about the playoff. I would just say that I do not think James Madison nor Tulane had a shot of ever winning the playoff. I think Oregon does, the winner of that game. I'm not sold on the defense from the University of Mississippi being able to make a deep run. Their offense is still pretty good.
But with all the turmoil surrounding them, the coaching drama and all that, it's going to be interesting. All right. Before we move on to the next game that I want to talk about, real quick, got to talk about the Mandalay Collection Saturday, January 31st at the Nilo in Plano. Mandalay Collection is a family jewelry business that originated in Burma 4 generations ago. It started so long ago, the country isn't even called that anymore. Designing and providing traditional as well as unique and classic jewelry using diamonds and various Burmese gemstones like rubies, sapphires, emeralds, set in 18 to 21 karat gold. Having established themselves as a service by appointment only, they have been in Pakistan, the UK, and UAE for over 2 decades and are now right here in Dallas. And you are cordially invited to attend an exclusive showing of Mandalay Collection's beautiful jewelry on Saturday, January 31st from noon until 5 p.m. at the Nilo Hotel in Plano. Please check out www.mandalaycollection.com and the Instagram at Mandalay Collection and Mandalay International, not to be confused with Vandalay Industries. Sorry, Mandalay just reminded me. A little Seinfeld reference there for those of you who are wondering what the heck is Vandalay Industries. Look it up. All right, with that, let's get back to the game that I wanted to talk about. That Texas-Miami game. Was that good defense or was that not optimum offense?
It was a combination of the two. I mean, the best defense was from the Miami side, but Miami decided not to take any real risk on the offensive side. They had a couple trick plays they tried, but they weren't being particularly aggressive because I don't think they felt like A&M was ever going to really score on them, because Marcel Reed could not hit the broadside of a barn yesterday. He was really inaccurate. Mm-hmm. And, Miami missed 3 field goals. Texas A&M had 1 blocked. Texas A&M fumbled inside the 40 of Miami. They threw the interception at the end of the game. I mean, it was a sloppy game, and you could tell both teams are athletic and top 15 type teams. But you got to ask the question. Earlier I mentioned the unbalanced schedules. A&M played 6 of the 7 bottom teams in the SEC. Mm-hmm. The one team they played on the top half beat them by over 10 points. So in this new era of huge conferences and unbalanced conference schedules in terms of competitiveness, I think you're going to get games like this where you have a truly flawed team like A&M make the playoffs and then for whatever reason get exposed. And I don't know if you remember, you're the one who said it earlier in the season, you were worried about Texas A&M's rush defense because they gave up some big runs. Mm-hmm. Well, that's why Miami was in position to score that touchdown in the game. Yeah, was because A&M let up a couple of big runs to the Miami running back, and then
Fletcher had himself a day. 17 carries, 172 runs with that long 56 run.
I'd be happy with that on the college football video game. I'd be like, all right, man, good solid game by my running back here.
Yeah, yeah, and look, Texas A&M, as you said, they scored some points on some bad. Or not necessarily bad, but like bottom of the tier SEC teams this year. But against Miami, they just could not get going on the ground at all.
No, and their rushing attack really was Marcel Reed scrambling. Mm-hmm. And I know their best tailback, Le'Veon Moss, and he was hurt. And he couldn't play, and he actually left the game injured again. Yeah. So I get it. But I am So the playoff exposes the teams, right, that shouldn't be there.
Yep.
And A&M was a flawed team. We'll see what they do in the portal in the offseason. They got to replace both offensive and defensive coordinator. But I think the biggest question Elko, the A&M head coach, has to ask is, do I stay with Reed or do I get somebody else to the portal who can actually throw the ball within the confines of the offense and not play like playground ball, like run around and then make a play?
Yep. All right. Well, we're going to talk about what this victory means for Miami moving forward into the quarters, and lots and lots more in the college football world, as well as the NFL. It's going to be crunch time. We're going to talk all about that when we come back after this little break. You're listening to the Sports Spotlight right here on Radio Azad.
This is Radio Azad, where your voice matters. Streaming in Dallas, Fort Worth, and all around the world.
आप सुन रहे हैं रेडियो आजाद, हम सफर, हम जाद, रेडियो आजाद।